Hello, guys, and welcome to SVOR Japanese Grand Prix press conference. Tonight we have four drivers, but we will be hearing from a fifth at the end. Tonight we have SV Bradford, SV Bagoo, Despairs, SV Ramsey, and I will read what Jota had to say earlier. We'll go to Bradford first. Obviously, he had a pretty bad USA Grand Prix last week and only came away with, I believe, seventh and losing second place in the championship. And on top of that, you've also received a qualifying ban for Japan. Do you think you'll be able to get to the front of the pack?
Well, I hope so. I really like Japan, and it is very fun. One of my strongest tracks, so I'm hoping to get up to the top pretty quickly.
Yeah. Obviously, USA wasn't your best race. A lot of incidents with basically one driver. Do you think you'll be able to put the race in the past and start making your way back up the championship?
Oh, definitely. I'm treating that track as if it does not exist this season. I just want to forget about it when I get onto the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you very much. We will then move on to Pagoo. After another comeback drive, that I think that's your third one already this season. Do you think you'll ever get a clean race?
At this rate, mate, nah, I don't think I will. Like I said, the whole reason that I had to make that comeback drive in the first place, it was all on me. I made the mistake on my end. Obviously, I got a pretty bad start, bogged down a little bit on the start, and going up the gears, I went to cover Darren, and I was just a little bit too late, and obviously clipped my rear end and sent me round. Thankfully, I didn't get any damage. Um, but like I said after the race, I held my hands up. That was all on me. Nothing to do with him. That was completely my fault. Um, so I wanted to clarify that so he was in the clear, so he wouldn't get a penalty. And
Yeah,
yeah, uh, I've been having to pull things out of my ass really to get in the position that I'm in, and it's definitely been 3 weeks. Definitely been a really difficult start to the season. Hopefully, next week, or well, Monday, um, I can come away with a nice, healthy race because I do like Japan. Japan is up there with one of my favourite tracks, and I've always been quite comfortable with Japan. I just need to try and keep it clean and hopefully start on pole. Obviously, with Brad not being in the mix and qualifying, that's obviously one person I don't have to worry about. Obviously, him being my teammate. Um, but yeah, Monday it's just going to be a case of getting it on pole and try and exploit the raw pace that I have at Japan to try and pull away from the rest of the guys and hopefully have a nice clean race at the front.
yeah, hopefully. And just the last question. With Jota winning two out of the last three races, do you think he could give you a good challenge for this season's Drivers' Championship?
I mean, the two races that he's been in, he's won. So obviously, that's showing massive amount of consistency. Um, he's managed to find himself in very favourable positions um, over the course of the race. So at the moment, he is right now looking to be my closest contender. But obviously, over the course of last season, we know the likes of Storlax. He can be really quick on his day, and if anything, even though Snorlax hasn't hardly scored any points at all, I would still class Snorlax as my closest competitor. But yeah, he's definitely in the running for sure. I mean, if I make a mistake and I slip up, and he gets away, it could be quite difficult to catch up to him because right now Jota's proven that he's very consistent. So we'll have to see.
Once again, McLaren dominating as they did last season. But thank you very much. We'll move on to Despairs. After finishing third at USA, obviously with Japan technically tomorrow, because this will be released on YouTube tomorrow. Could we see another performance like that again?
Probably not. Yeah, Japan's not my.
Have some faith in yourself,
track.
mate. Have some
Japan's not my
faith.
favourite.
Have some faith.
Yeah, Japan's not my favourite track in the world. Yeah, I'm like, it's an average track for me. USA was just very favourable, especially because of Bradford and Darren. Just no idea what happened there, but yeah, I don't think I'd be getting another podium.
Obviously, you beat your teammate once again. Would you consider yourself the number one driver at Racing Point?
Can you ask me that as well?
Funny enough, that was one of my questions for you, so that's alright.
I guess so. If
Your teammate
yeah.
does seem to be struggling. Not
Yeah,
really
he
sure
has done
why.
so far. Beaten both times. He's raced. Hopefully he can come back next race, but we'll have to see who's the number one driver at the end of the season.
Just
Thank you very
just
much.
to add on to that, Kieran, about his teammate. Did his penalty get removed that I requested?
It did indeed.
Okay, cool.
Thank you very much. We'll move on to technically the final driver that we're actually going to speak to, SV Ranzi. Obviously, a very decent finish for you last week, finishing fifth. I think that equals your best result in SVOR, I believe.
No, it doesn't.
What are your chances of? Oh, does it not?
No, I got P4 at Australia last season.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, there you go. What for this season? I can't remember.
Back
where
when
you
my
finished
teammate
at
was a
Australia.
god.
Yeah.
Of course.
But yeah, obviously finishing pretty well at USA. Could we see that again at Japan?
Maybe. It was quite
Nice
good
and short and
consistent
sweet.
at Japan. Was it an SVR? I can't remember where it was. SVR or TSRL when I was quite good at Japan last season.
Or AOR, I don't really know.
Either way, just consistent lap times. Not my quickest track, but then none of them really are. Started to enjoy actually racing at Japan. It used to be one of my most hated tracks, along with USA, and they're two of my most favourite tracks now. So yeah, hopefully I'll have a good result.
Yeah, and just a final question. You already know what it's going to be. Would you consider yourself the number one driver at?
That's not even a question.
I can't actually remember what team you drive for. But
I am deeply offended by the fact that the owner of the league doesn't know what team I'm in.
He's in the Sauber, or the Alfa Romeo, should I say?
And that's
Even
not
I
even a
know
question.
that.
Of course he's the number one driver. It's not even a question.
My answer's going to be short and sweet. No.
oh,
You're basically
My back hurts.
asking whether or not Carl or Crash Dummy is the number one driver at Alfa Romeo. I don't
The
think it's
safety
the
car
Crash
killing
Dummy.
me
test
on a
dummy.
Monday.
I don't think it's the Crash
I'm having
Dummy.
to carry
I've got a
him because he
feeling.
keeps giving up.
he does give up a lot. Maybe you should have a quick word with him.
I think you should punish him
Just
next
in
time
your
he tries
test
to give
drive.
up. Just get the belt out, Carl.
Get the belt out here.
But
Not
yeah,
even
thank you
that,
very
just
much.
sack him.
And I will just say what I will start off with the questions that I asked him, and then I will answer it. So I put to him, another victory under your belt in the podium interviews. You said you don't believe you're in the title fight, but going into round 4, you're currently tied with Pagoo on 50 points. Surely at the point of the championship, you consider yourself a championship contender. He answered it by saying, I appreciate the sentiment of people believing I'm a title contender, but I'm honestly off the pace of the likes of Pagoo, Bradford and Snorlax. I'm thankful for my good form and where I am in the table, but I'm taking it race by race. And then the final question I asked him was, with Japan being a very technical circuit, is there any chance we could see a hat-trick of wins from yourself? He basically put, I hope for another win, but taking result of last season's race where Snorlax and Pagoo were so much faster, I'm not expecting anywhere near the top this week. As I said, I'm taking a week-by-week view and just enjoying the drive. Nothing extraordinary, just wanting some fun. But yeah, that is basically it for the
Can I
press
just point
conference.
out a
Obviously,
technicality?
What's that?
Technically, Jota's leading the championship because he has more wins than me.
I'll
Boom.
tell Sinistro to change you over then, if you want to put it like that. But
Might as well
yeah,
leave
so
it for
my
a couple of
announcement,
days.
basically, as of the 31st of August, I will be leaving SV as owner for personal reasons. Obviously, I won't be gone for like forever. I will be back eventually. But SV Pagoo, obviously, you already know that you're going to be taking over as owner, and then SV Custard will be co-owner until I do return. I don't know whether the personal issue will impact my league racing. I hope it doesn't, because obviously I do want to defend my title of the F2 title in VVR, but hopefully I can continue racing. But until then, guys, we will be back on Monday. Well, tomorrow technically, because like I said, for the Japanese Grand Prix, and hopefully it will be a very interesting race. Until then, goodbye.